Kia ora everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amy and today I have for you another part of my complete collection tour. In this one I am going to be going through my Colouring Heaven shelves because I have two shelves that have Colouring Heaven. So I try to split it so that the Colouring Heaven special issues are on one side and then the Colouring Heaven collection is on the other side. But they're possibly a bit mixed up. So we're going to be in a bit of a random order. It's good fun trying to dig one of these out on the shelves, and in all honesty I think it's part of the reason why I don't pull out as much Colouring Heaven as I used to, because of how I've got them organised. So I might need to try and figure out a better way to do it. But the first one that we pulled out of the pile, because again this is in no particular order, we're just going to try and do the specials first. So we have the Nickel Girls special. This is by Dina Stone, and I have done two in here apparently. That's cute. This one's super cute. So yeah, I have quite an extensive Colouring Heaven magazine. I used to have a magazine store under my old apartment, and they got in Colouring Heaven magazine, so I used to pick one up basically every fortnight because it was either the special or the collection that they got in, and I would pick it up consistently because I enjoyed it. They no longer exist, and I no longer can pick up the magazine locally. And in all honesty, I don't feel the need to get a subscription. I have more than enough Colouring Heavens, and occasionally I will buy a digital copy if there's something I really want. So the first page I have here is number 30. This one I remember being really proud of how I did the hair with alcohol markers, because I was really trying to push myself with alcohol markers. So yeah, I remember being really pleased at getting as much tone and depth into that hair as I did. I would do a much different job now, but at the time I was very proud of it. And then I have used some polychromos pencils to shade and lots of stickles. And once again, like many of my coloring books, definitely needs a border. And then the other one I have in here is this one. So once again, this is alcohol markers. There's a little bit of pencil on here to try and give it some definition. A little bit of stickles. Yeah, I believe I was trying to color this all entirely with alcohol markers, and I was using bullet tip, like not brush tips, so they're a bit harder to blend. So it is a bit patchy in terms of the blending, but again, I was pretty proud of it when I did it because, you know, you got to learn alcohol markers somewhere. So yeah, those are the two that I have done in here. So that means the spreadsheet is correct. Right. The Enchanted Animals special. I was so pleased when I found this one. I was really worried because this issue sold out so quickly when they put it on. So this is an issue by Kanoko Agusa. Now, of course, a lot of the images that are on this one are also now in Leon's journey. But at the time, this had a few exclusive images and images that hadn't been used yet. So it is a gorgeous issue. Love. I know that Birds one is in Leon's journey because I've been looking at colouring it. But this is the one page that I have done here. I did this during my 2025 birthday stream, actually. And yeah, I just love how this one turned out so much. So there is polychromos pencils, a little bit of Posca, but yeah, primarily pencils. Just all pencil work. Yeah, I still one of my favorites. Still absolutely love that page. So that's Enchanted Animals Special, which features designs by Kanoko Agusa. Next, then we have Fantasy Figures Special. I think I've done a bit in this one, because I think this is one of my go-to grabs for a while there. There should be 7. Need to do some border work. This is quite an old one. So this one, I know all the glitter pens are Crayola, and I suspect it's Faber-Castell for the actual Faber-Castell Classic Colour for all the actual shading of her. Just pencils. Didn't do a background or anything like that. Just very much coloured as is there. Still like her. Like, it's cool to see. I would do things very differently now, but this was done in 2022. So this is an older piece of colouring. Not my oldest colouring in my collection, but it's an older piece of colouring. Does need a border though. I have bordered this one. I remember this one I was really trying to play around with blue, green and yellow because it was a combo that I realized I didn't do a lot. So I was like, I'll play around with that. And I used water-based something. Is it watercolors or Inktense? I think it's Inktense to base the hair. Yeah, a mixture of alcohol markers, and then I think I did Inktense for the hair. No, that's right. I remember I started off with colouring the hair just with pencils. And I was just like really happy with the pencil blend because I wanted to do that blue, green, yellow, and then I decided to do the rest of the page, which I did use alcohol markers from. And the reason why I'm thinking Inktense is because there's like some watercolour on the cheeks because I was trying to do the blush with that. I did try and do some like watercolor shading on top of the alcohol markers as well. And then those, I believe, are Inktense as well. There's a lot of mixed media on this page. There's also sparkle gel pens, a little bit of paint pen, stuff like that. Yeah, I really, really do like the vibes of this one. Do the background a different color now, but I like it, you know? Again, as part of the journey, and I can see my progression. I still love the hair. I still think the hair is really, really cool. I need to do more like multicolored hair blends. I don't know if I also said, by the way, this is by Maud Limone. Gorgeous, gorgeous portraiture work. I have some significant bleed through on this side to deal with. That's fine. We have this one here. So this one I know is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, and there is some gold paint pens, a gold pen, and there's also some paint pen. Originally I had done this in here like green because I was just thinking I'll tie the green in, but it drew your eyes right here. So I went over it with a gold paint pen and it has dulled it down quite a bit. It has helped it, but it's still pretty intense. So yeah. I now have better paint pens, so I could technically paint over that and turn it gold entirely, but it's also part of the journey and part of the learning, so it's okay, you know? Oh, this one. I remember loving this one. When this magazine came into the magazine store, I did have a quick flip and I saw this page and I was just like, I knew how to colour this straight away. And in fact, I brought the magazine and my mum was at a market next door to this magazine store. So I went over to her and I was like, hey, I've just made a purchase of a new colouring book. She's like, oh, of course you have. I was like, come on. And pulled it out and showed her. She's like, yeah, okay, I get why you needed it. This is very your style. She knew. So yeah, this one here, I did alcohol markers and I did lots and lots of shading with just the alcohol markers. Again, I was really trying to push myself to shade with it. Just about killed all my pale purples. In fact, I probably did kill my pale purples, but love, love, love. And then I did use a little bit of polychromos pencils and a Posca on the clouds to do this shading here. A little bit of Posca highlights there and here and stuff. There's stickles all over the wings. And then on her necklace is, there was an old Crayola marker. It was like an iridescent marker. It came in a set and the rest of them were terrible, but I loved this one. It was like, it was a white marker, but it actually is iridescent. And so that's what I used on her neck there. And yeah, absolutely love that one so much. Again, still one of my favourites. Even after all these years, I still think this is one of my favourites. And we have this one. So this one, I was taking part in an actual prompt challenge. And there was like, I think it was like Cupid in Space was the prompt or something. So I turned this page into Cupid in Space. Originally, it did have like a bit of scenery back here, but I turned that into a galaxy using water-soluble crayons, just the gallery ones. And then I used Prismacolor to colour them. Did I base them with alcohol markers? Just a couple of parts, just as here and the wings. But the rest of it, I just coloured directly on the page with Prismacolors. And then for the wings, I made my own Mod Podge glitter glue with Mod Podge and various types of glitter, and put that all over there. And my idea was like, you know, she's kind of enticing him. I just thought it was fun. I also think she's an alien Cupid. I think that's what I was going for. Yeah, it's funky. I like it. Alright, and then... Oh, that one I've just done the border on. That one doesn't count as a whip. I just pre-did a border for once. I have done this one, which reminded me very much of a Barbie doll, so I went very Barbie-esque for it. Her skin is very orange, though, but that's okay. That was not using enough other colours to tone down, and really just choosing the wrong colour to begin with. Her skin is way too orange, but again, I remember being very proud of the hair and getting, like, I really feel like I got that blonde tone to her hair when I did it. So yeah, alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, and then metallic gel pens, a little bit of Posca. Really simple, regular combo for me. Something that glitters, paint pen, basing medium, pencils for shading. And then I have astrology. So this one was actually one that I had to go back and fix up, and there is a working the whips on the channel. Looks like something's spilled and caught there. It's okay. A little bit of white paint pen will cover that up and won't even be able to tell. So for this one, originally I'd used like a bronze paint pen in the corners here, and then I based it with a bunch of alcohol markers. I came in with pencils and increased the shading, added in a bunch of highlights. And then I went over the bronze because it was really streaky, so I went over that with copper stickles just to help smooth out the streaks, which I love how this turned out, especially because I took the time to actually paint the border, because I realized it really needed that framing up. And yeah, love how it turned out in the end. It's not like my usual favorite colorways. I don't usually work with red and browns, but I just think it's striking. I like how it came together a lot. It's beautiful and shiny, and yeah. And that might be the last one on here. It is. So that should be 7. 1, 2. Doesn't count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fantastic. So that one is up to date. Fairytopia special with designs by Mystic Art Mirrors. I can't remember. I think I've done a little bit in here. Oh, Fairytopia special. There you are. Cool. So we should have done 6 in here. This is another book I used to grab when I was studying because it was quite fun and easy, I found, to do a lot of pages in here. So yeah, that's 2022. So this one uses alcohol markers, a little bit of pencils for shading, stickles, and then that Crayola iridescent marker on top of some alcohol markers to create that shimmer. I think from memory I've just done, like, I've used the same colour that I used for the skin here to go over to do like some shading on the skin, so it's super subtle. Now I would grab a secondary colour, but back then that's all I did. Sorry, just grabbing some water. So yeah, once again, alcohol markers. There is a little bit of pencil for shading, although I did also try and do some markers shading. There's some metallic gold gel pen. It's probably a dot of Posca for the eyes. I do like how striking she is. I have a lot of fun doing like odd colour skins on these ones, as you might have been able to tell. Right, this one is very flat, and I decided to leave it flat. Maybe one day I'll decide to come in and feel like it needs some more shading, but yeah. It was one of those ones where I based it, and then I don't know, there's something about it as is flat that I really, really liked. So I just decided to never come back to it. I did put some shading in the eyes, and I used like a puff paint to color in these elements here. And it looks so shiny. But yeah, I don't know, something about it just as is. It's like, I'm happy with it. I don't need to do anything else. And so I didn't. Okay, this is the next one. So this one uses alcohol markers to shade for the whole thing, and then a little bit of paint pen and gel pens, and then I did use a glitter glue over the top of the whole thing, which is really cool. And then I had to put Mod Podge on top of that glitter glue because this glitter glue tends to like lift up and spread everywhere. So that was how I just made sure it all stayed down. So it's also got a layer of Mod Podge matte over the top. And yeah, again, I could push the shading now better with alcohol markers, but this is how I was learning at the time. So, you know, it's cool to see the progression. Actually, I haven't pulled this book out in a long time. In fact, I haven't pulled this book out since last year's collection tour, so it's cool to look through it again. Okay, so this one here, this one I used alcohol markers to color the whole thing, and I was loving how it progressed. And then I used glitter glue on her, but the glitter glue I used was this terrible old glitter glue that I don't have anymore. And so where I applied it, it kind of caused a bit of like spread and bleed. So you might be able to see on the skull here, it kind of speckles out on the top. I can see it a bit better on the back. You can see around the lips here how the color has been pushed outwards, and same around here around these dots on the earring. And so it just caused like these big patches to appear. And the one on the skull, like that one was workable. That one kind of just tied in. So I was like, okay, that one's not so bad. But the ones on the skin, that's like really obvious. Oh, excuse me. So I decided after it happened that, you know what, we're just going to make it vitiligo. And so I just grabbed a paint pen and just like expanded out some of the spread and played around with it. And I really like how she turned out. Okay, and then we have the bunnies page. This one is all alcohol markers, a little bit of pencil shading, no shimmers or anything like that. Pretty straightforward. I think that was just one I was doing when I was like studying, and just it was quick and easy. Just a bit of alcohol marker, bit of shading. Very cute page. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right. Next up is Flower Girls. This has designs by, this should be in the collection one. Cool. Well, we came across it, but the shelves are obviously a bit mixed up, so that's all good. But yeah, we'll make sure we put this on the right shelf going back. So I should have 3 in here. So yes, this has designs by Mayumi Ogihara and Anastasia Koldreva. I'm probably butchering that. And this is Flower Girls, and it's a Colouring Heaven collection. The collections are meant to be on a different shelf. So this one here, I did such a bad job of framing it up. It's not even at all. So maybe one day I'll get my paint markers and clean that up. But this one I used alcohol markers to colour in her skin and base everything, and then polychromos pencils on top, and of course stickles over the whole thing. And the background is like a metallic tempera stick, and then paint pen to go around here because I don't know, I thought she'd just pop out a bit more with the black around her. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I did learn after I finished it that because it's called Anemone Girl, and there is a specific flower and a specific colorway for it. And I didn't look it up or anything. I just went for it because I don't know, I just saw it with red. I thought they were poppies. So I colored it. But it's okay. I love how it turned out. See some lovely bleed through from the red marker. It's fine. It'll clean up. And then we have Spring Girl, which still need to water. So the background and everything has been based with alcohol markers. I did use polychromos pencils to shade on top. Stickles for covering the flowers. A little bit of paint pen. Very simple. Again, just really playing around with that hair. Love that hair, that purple to blue combo. And then I've done one more in here, which is the Anastasia Cold Reaver ones. This one I had so many issues with. This was a fix-up of a page. So originally I had used Inktense to start basing it, but something about the paper just kind of went all patchy. So I was also then layering in alcohol markers to try and smooth it off. And it ended up getting damaged. Like, it was layer after layer after layer of me trying to fix these things up. And then I'd work pencils, and then I'd use a clear alcohol marker blender to try and blend out the pencils. Yeah, in the end I got it to a point where it's okay. It's definitely still very patchy, but it's passable. I do love the locks, which is the main thing I didn't want to lose. I loved how I did those. And then I did just use a gold marker and kind of fluff the flowers up here just to, it is what it is. The gold also helps cover a few areas where the paper was damaged and stuff from how badly I was doing on the page. But yeah, hey, we made it to the end. We got the page completed. I was just proud of finishing the page by this point. So that's Bad Good Girl by Anastasia Koldareva, and that's my free pages in the Colouring Heaven collection, Flower Girls. Right, back to the specials. This is the Wildwood Witches special, which has designs by Steve Hutton. We should have just the one in here. That's right, I remember this one. I was really playing around with the Inktense and going quite painterly and just trying to create, it's got quite loose, interesting line work. So I was just kind of trying to match those vibes with some loose, painterly colouring. I do like it. I could have gone in further, but I'm also really happy with it as is. So it's all Inktense, and then there's a bunch of deco art glaze and some glitter from them as well. And there's a little bit of gold metallic gel pen as well. And as well as the Inktense, I think there's a little bit of polychromos, not polychromos, Albigeras for her face. Paint pens on the flowers too. It is Wildwood Witches special. Garden Gnome special with designs by Ava Brown. We have just the one. Oh look, I turned straight to it. This one here. This one is, I think it's water-based markers actually. Nope, I lied. It's alcohol markers. Yeah, it's all alcohol markers. A little bit of stickles, of course. I'm surprised I did not colour the cat black. I'll put that much out there. Very surprised, but also I quite like the warm golden tones. Like it's very harmonious, all the colours together. But yeah, I usually do colour cats black, so neat. Yeah, very simple page, very cute. This book is quite cute. Lots of fun little gnomes. So it's Garden Gnome Special by Ava Brown. Oh, we have another collection. This is on the wrong shelf. This, yeah, I mean, they do get completely mixed up, these two shelves. I'm not surprised. This is the Colouring Heaven Tattoos collection. It's got designs by Hannah Lynn and Dina Stone. And I should have just one done in here, which I think is the page we're turning to. And it's this one here. This is my first, I think this is my first ever Hannah Lynn. No, it's not, but yeah, I don't colour a lot of Hannah Lynn. I know she's very popular in the community, but yeah, I don't know. She's just, I don't have any of her books. I don't really have a desire for any of her books. I've got a little bit of her featured in the Colouring Heaven issues, but I think that's enough for me. Yeah, she's cute, but it's not my style. I find I prefer more realistic portraiture, I've come to realise. But I do have fun colouring her the couple of times I have coloured her. So yeah, we've got alcohol markers, there's distress ink in the background, polychromos shading, paint pens, there is some deco art, enchanted shimmer I think it's called, like iridescent medium on top in the bubbles, and then there is some gel pens as well for all the tattoos. Yeah, fairly straightforward. Also, I love my pink bubbles, but I think that's all I have done in here. It is. That is the Tattoos collection by Colouring Heaven. Okay, next up is Gothic's Beauty Specials. And this one is Assorted Artists. It's got Anna Marine, Chris Ortega, Sarah Richter, Selena Phoenix, and Alchemy Carter. And I have done 3 in here. So we'll start at the back with the Sarah Richter, who I love her work. So this one here, when I saw it, I did immediately imagine like a half elf, half orc character. And so that's what I decided to colour. She did originally have like a big fan neck thing to the side here, and I chose to get rid of that because I was like, nah, not really what I want to have with it. So it's polychromos pencils for all of this with some Liquitex gold acrylic ink and a little bit of Posca paint pen. I did also use in a black acrylic paint, and I haven't done a very good job of the background. Beside the fact that there's texture, you can see that there's some gaps around and it doesn't go all the way around here. So one day I'll come in here and do like a finishing off border and clean it up a bit. But yeah, I do love how she came together. So that's Belandriel by Sarah Richter. And then we have Dragon Mask by Sarah Richter. And this one I remember just being so pleased with how it turned out. And it's Inktense. Just lots of working with Inktense. In fact, it's only 3 colours. I believe it's like madder brown, it's like a crimson red, and I think these are willow is the 3 colours that I used to do this page. And I just really loved how it came together. And then there is Liquitex golden ink and a little bit of Posca in the eyes. Yeah. And then done this one here by Alchemy Carter. This is Mort de Morgana. And this one uses acrylic paints in the background, polychromos pencils to shade her, a gold gel pen as well to do all her jewellery. And that's all the pages that I have done in the Gothic Beauty Special. Alright, the Manga Fairies Special. There you are. This has got designs by Stenara. I've just done the one in here. There you are. I remember when I finished this one, I was very pleased with how it turned out, except for my green paint pen that I did around the background here. I think one day I'm going to black that out and carry on and, you know, do a border, but also black that out. That's the one thing that's always annoyed me about that page, because the greens in here are really subtle and earthy, and then we've got this comical green here, essentially. But so far, the page is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils. There's also a bit of washi tape for her belt in here. Gold metallic gel pens, paint pens in her eye, and yeah, the Posca that I'm gonna remove because I think once it's black, or even a dark brown, would look really nice as well. I think if I did that, it would look a lot better. So yeah, I think that's the only one I've done in here. God, this is a gorgeous issue. Need to pull it out. I haven't done a lot. I didn't pull out many Colouring Heavens in 2025, so hopefully we'll pull out some more in 2026. Alright, Fantasy Creatures Special. This one is a mixture of Selena Fennick and Chet Minton. So half of it's like cutesy, cartoony, and then half of it's like really detailed. But it's a cool contrast, you know? Yeah. I believe I've done a Selena Fennick page. I've done the Kitsune. I remember when this one occurred, I had unfortunately knocked over my bottle of gold Liquitex acrylic ink. And so I was trying to find as many pages as possible that I could use the gold ink on. So I saw this page and it's like, cool, we'll use it on the moon and the stars, and her eyes and up there. And then before it dries out, basically. So I just filled in as many spots as I could with the big pool of ink that was on my desk. Then later on I came back in and I used ink tints and watercolors to color in the whole thing. And again, very proud of like how I pushed the shading on the folds and stuff like that. Is it perfect shading? No, but I was really pleased to have how I pushed it at the time. Now I look at this and I'm like, where's your background? Where's you know, this? Where's the highlights in the eyes? Like, where's some sharper highlights and stuff like that? And that's how things change over time. So it's cool to look back and reflect on it and go, oh yeah, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's cute. This book's cute. That's cute. Need to pull this book out more. It's Fantasy Creatures Special with designs from Selena Fennick and Chet Minton. Alright, Steampunk Animals Special. I think I've only done one in here. A free Steampunk Animals Special. Yes, and so this one is assorted artists. I've got Christine Karron, Cindy Al-Sharoni, Jennifer Zinneman, Coco Wow, Sam Dinkin, Fabiana Chetty, and others. So there must have been some more that I ran out of room for. And yes, there's apparently just the one in here. It's Coco Wyo. Sam Deacon. That's cool. Oh yeah, Christine Karron. Oh, I entirely forgot I had those Christine Karron pages in here, actually. That's cool. Just the two of them, but they're cool. That's cute. Alright, Fabiana Trudy. That's right. I've done the octopus. I love how the octopus turned out. So for this one, for the background, I used It was a gouache, but it was a very terrible gouache, and I got rid of it. It was more like watercolor. It didn't operate like traditional gouache. It was more like a watercolor. So yeah, I mean, it was fine for the background here, but yeah, it wasn't my favorite to use. So that for the background, and then I use paint pens and stickles to create sort of like a bit of dimension and texture. Alcohol markers to base everything, and then polychromos pencils for shading, and lots of paint pens on here to try and create the illusion of shiny metal, which in some areas works a bit better than others. I'm still trying to figure out how to shade like curved metal and how it would work under here, and technically it would have blue reflex because it's under the water and it would be reflecting the water and yada yada yada. I was pretty pleased with what I did do at the time. I didn't pull out a gold acrylic ink to do the metals, you know, that was my main thing. That's what I was trying to not do. Yeah, I do really like my octopus in the Steampunk Animals special. At Winglings special. This is by Jasmine Becker Griffith. And this is my only, unless I have her in some other magazines, this is my only Jasmine Becker Griffith book. As soon as I saw this one, I was like, yes, because these dragons holding dice in here. Yeah, I keep meaning to color the dragons dice draglings. Still haven't done it. One day. But I've done birdling. Yeah, something about this one called to me one day, and so we did it. So I used alcohol markers to base, and then Pablo pencils to shade on this one. Mod Podge Extreme Glitter for going over the sky. Again, it needs a border. When do my pages not need a border? A little bit of paint pen on her face as well. Yeah, I like it. I think it's very cute. So I'm pretty sure that's the only one I've done in here. Yeah. Wingling Special. Grim Fairy Tale Special. Where are we? There we are. So this is by Naliki Shoemaker. I'm probably butchering that, and I do apologize. I've done the one in here, but I do know I freaking love the one I've done in here. Where are you? There you are. Yes, Little Red Riding Hood. So this one is alcohol markers, Prismacolor pencils, gold metallic gel pen, a little bit of Posca to highlight in the eyes. And yeah, I really wanted to keep her obviously reds and warms, so he was cool and greens and purple background, and yeah, I love how this one turned out. It's quite cool because it actually gives a bit of detail about the stories too. So this is like, you know, your classic fairy tales, but there's a bunch of different fairy tales that you don't always see portrayed as well, which is quite cool. And it's just really interesting line style. So yeah, I like it. But yeah, I was really proud when I finished this one, and I really liked how it came together. I still really like it. Grim Fairy Tale Special. Right, the Starry Night Special with designs by Wishing Ong. I also have their books as well. You can buy these in a book, and it's very, very cute. Where are we? Starry Night Special. There you are. And we've done just the one in here. Which is Celestial Rose. So this one is just alcohol marker base, polychromos for shading, and silver metallic gel pen. I think now I would go over all the black with Mod Podge Sparkle or Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, because I find it really helps set that black off and creates that starry night sky. But I didn't have that back then, and honestly, I'm really still pleased with how it came together. I do love her hair. I was trying to do that sort of white light hair. It looks very grey though. Now I know to add in a little bit of like a warm pale yellow or a little bit of really light tan to make it more like a light creamy blonde rather than grey. But again, things we learn along the way, and I'm just impressed I did all those flowers. It was a lot of roses. Yeah. So that is the Starry Night special. Back, this is an old one, you can tell because it's still got the embossed. I love when they used to do that. So this is on really good paper too. The old paper's good. Right, the Element special with designs by Anne Stokes, and it is one of my very few unworked issues. So I absolutely love this issue. But I talked about this when we covered the Anne Stokes book in my oversized books, because I do have one of her books. I would like to eventually get my hands on the other one, but they are significantly bigger, and it means that the images have been downscaled to fit in here, and you lose a lot of the detail. So like this here, for example, in her actual book, this is just one whole page, and the book is a significantly big square book, like it is bigger than this book, so it's quite a lot bigger. And here they've had to really downscale it and add in those borders, and I find that it just comes at the cost of a lot of detail. So I haven't done anything in here. I have pulled it a few times, but I haven't done anything in here. Maybe this year, but again, I do have her actual book. For a long time, I didn't feel like I could unhaul any of my Colouring Heavens because I was like, I have such a collection of them. I don't want to say like at the end of 2026, if I haven't worked on it, I'll unhaul it, because I've done that to myself and the pressure makes me not work on it. So it is something I'm keeping in mind though, that like if I make it to the end, it's like, I have another Anne Stokes book. I'm more likely to work in the other Anne Stokes book, and I would rather get the second Anne Stokes book, and then I would have all the images that are in here across two books in a bigger size that I like. That's what I'm weighing up. But for now, happy to have this one in my collection, the Element Special. Creatures of the Night Special. So this one is a very special Colouring Heaven, because this is one of the first ones I had in my collection. It's one of the first ones that really got me in terms of adult colouring is more than just Joanna Basford. Because I first tried adult colouring in like 2015 when Joanna Basford first became very popular. I was like, it's not really for me, and I didn't enjoy it. And then, you know, I had some falls and some hospital stays, and I lost mobility in my hands as part of my condition. And so I started colouring to regain its momentum, and I enjoyed it. But a lot of my early colouring I don't have, because I was colouring really cheap books, like cheap kid books. I just scribble and then chuck the book away, because I wasn't trying to be an artist in it. I was literally trying to regain control of my hands and rebuild strength in my hands. So it was just chuck to the next page, chuck to the next page. But then my hand strength started getting better, but I also started finding more and more books that was more appealing to my artistic style. So I found Kirby, Mythomorphia. That was like, oh wow. And then I found this issue being in this magazine store by chance. And I used to be a portrait artist. So I used to love colouring in people's faces. And Sarah Richter, like, this is a collection book, but there's quite a few faces in here as well. So that really got me, was that there was a bunch of portraiture. And yeah, it just kind of stuck with me. So this is kind of a really important issue for me because of that reason. It does have some of my earlier colorings that I have kept, like this one here. That's just Prismacolor. No background, no nothing, just Prismacolor. That was, at this point, I did have a lot more hand control here. This one again, just Prismacolor. No shimmer, no metallics, no nothing, just pencils, color in the page, didn't even color in the background. I was playing around with some watercolors here. Again, no shimmers, no metallics, no paint pens. This one does have some of me working with a gel pen and some of my bad line work because my hands were still a bit bad here, but I didn't really care too much about this page. So it was just like trying to trace the lines. But yeah, I think watercolors for that one again. Maybe I used a little bit of alcohol marker on it. And then we're into Children of the Night. So this one I based in 2020, earlier than 2022. Could have been 2021 I based it with alcohol markers. I didn't even base the whole page. But this was a whip for the longest time in my collection. And in 2025 I finally did it. It was my oldest whip and I was so pleased to colour it in. So I finished off the base with alcohol markers, and then I pulled out polychromos pencils and shaded everything in. Ages on the stonework, lots and lots of stonework. And then I did grab some shimmer brush pens to go over part of her dress and a little bit of Posca to do the candles. And I was trying to create a little bit of a yellow glow. I don't know how well the camera's picking up the yellow glow coming from the moon and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm just very pleased and very happy it's done. I used to cut these out of the magazine, so yeah, I don't do that anymore, but I used to cut these out when I was colouring in them in my old books. So yeah, that's how this page. Are you in the right place? Yeah, you called the Dark Ages. Okay. Just checking we're actually in order because again these loose pages, so but yeah, this is the Merm type page. So again, I just based it with alcohol markers and I pulled out like a really bright orange, coral orange for her skin. I think originally I was thinking it was a mermaid and I saw the color was called coral and I was like, perfect. Pulled it out and I was like, oh, actually it's just bright orange. If I'd done it like, I was thinking originally like a light teal and I should have stuck with it, but for some reason I went orange. It's fine. Later on I coloured it in to try and make it less Oompa Loompa-y because it was, you know, orange and green. And I think we got there in the end. I do like how it came together. So yeah, polychromos pencils on top of alcohol markers. There's some distress ink on the background here because I used a stencil to go over the background to create all that dot texture, and then I used Liquitex gold acrylic ink and just splattered that everywhere. I used that same dot stencil on her skin too to add sort of like scales. And again, that's another cutout one. That's another cutout page, but I haven't done anything with it. And then, is it just that one? Because that one's still, yeah. Last one. This one, I think, is still one of my favorite things I have ever colored. I remember when I finished this one, I was just like, damn. Just absolutely love it. Still love it to this day. So I used alcohol markers to base. And you can see, for example, the background was based with brown because I knew I wanted to create these glowing candles. Rather than base it in black and then try and blend out, I based it all in brown for the lightest area of the candles. And then I built up layer after layer after layer. This is so many layers of polychromos. This is me very carefully and slowly blending out and very carefully building up. This is how I used to slowly build up the portraitures that I used to draw and sell. I was applying a lot of those techniques on there. I don't do this now. I work a bit quicker. I probably should. Like, I freaking love how it turns out. But I've gotten better at shading quicker. So, yeah. I don't know. Two minds. But yeah, it's alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, a little bit of Prismacolor as well for the candles. I wanted to use their French Greys for the candles. And then Posca to go around all the candles and stuff like that. And I was really focusing on the candles being the light source and how that would work on the page if they were the light source, and colouring in metals without using metallics. Still absolutely love this page. It's still one of my absolute favourites of things I've ever coloured. And that should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Yeah, very special issue because not only does it have my oldest colouring in the collection that I still have because I chucked out so much old colouring when I was first learning to get my hand strength back, but has some of my oldest colouring and has my favourite ever. And just special memory book. Right. Halloween special. This one is another assorted artists. We got Hannah Lynn, Agnes Guerrero, Sarah Richter, Simona Candini, and some others. I have done 4 in here. I've done this Agnes Guerrero one. So I used Distress inks for the background, and then alcohol markers for her, a little bit of polychromos shading, and lots of stickles. Yeah, I love how she came together. I mean, the glitter makes it very... Oh, excuse me. We have this one by Sarah Richter. And this one uses alcohol markers, a little bit of pencil for shading, and stickles. No paint pens on this one, which is surprising. But, yeah. It was great because I got to use up a bunch of colours I normally wouldn't touch. Because it just works so well for her skin. The Frankenstein's Bride. So I have this one by Simona Candini. And this one uses alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, Posca paint pens, no glitter, surprisingly, on this one. I remember really loving her dress. I drew on that tartan print. It's like, that's so cute. Yeah, and I also remember very distinctly my alcohol marker was dying on me in the background, so I had to try and blend markers, and yeah. Background's nowhere near as smooth as I'd like, but that happens. Yep, this was my first Hannah Lynn. So, I always thought that maybe one of the reasons I didn't gravitate to Hannah Lynn was how she did the eyes and the big, thick lines. It's like, maybe I'd enjoy Hannah Lynn more if I removed the line work and had less line work. Now I would know how to use paint pens to do that, but I didn't at the time that I did this. So instead I used an acrylic paint to paint over the line work of this page to reduce it right back. And then I used tempera paint sticks in the background, and I just covered over the background. Originally it was like a table and stuff like that, like she was at a masquerade ball. So I covered all that up. And then for her, I used a couple of different sets of pencils. There is a bit of polychromos pencils in here. There's also some cheap woodless pencils as well that I used. Once I realised that working on top of the acrylic paint was chewing through my pencils, I switched to some cheaper ones. Just like if they all got used up, it wasn't the end of the world. And yeah, I tried to colour in the page as if the lines weren't there. And it is a cool effect. I do like it. It's very painterly and cool. But yeah, it did make me realise that, yeah, no, you just genuinely don't gravitate towards Hannah Lynn style all that much. Again, they are cute. Please don't think I'm attacking anyone if you like to colour it. Like, there's so much colouring out there. Colour what you enjoy. You know, I can see the appeal of it. I think if I'm going to colour a face, I'd rather colour a face that is more realistically proportional. And that's just my personal preference. And that's the joy of colouring. We can colour what we like because there's so much out there to colour. So it's Halloween special. Then we have Fantasy Kingdom special. I love this issue. This one features art by Chris Ortega, who, oh my gosh, I love, love, love her stuff. I also now have her free books as well. Yeah, so we have Lair of the Damned, just gonna bit fold it up. Needs a border around it, but yeah, that boy, we coloured him on a stream. I really enjoy colouring abs. I think they're really fun to colour. It's a lot of like fun textures. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna colour in this one. And I coloured him in as sort of like a red demon bat boy. I think he's cool. So I used Neocolor 2s to just quickly block in colour for everything, and then Polychromos pencils to shade him. A little bit of, I think, Super Golden markers to do the chains and the details on him. And then for the background, I went over the Neocolor 2s with some Inktense just to create more tones in all these stones, because Inktense is really easy to get quick stonework in. So yeah, I like how he turned out. I think just pops really well. And also the dimension in the pants for being just black pants. And then the other one I have done is Forest Nymph. And this one is entirely done with Polychromos pencils with a little bit of a glitter gel pen on her belt. But yeah, Polychromos pencils, no basing, just directly on the page with the pencils. Yeah, this peachy green combo is not, again, a colour I would normally do, but I do really like it. Like this corally pink. So pretty. Yeah, that's my Forest Nymph page in the Fantasy Kingdom special. And that is correct. 2 pages in there. Mermaid special. There we go. We got another assorted artist one. It's got Mariola Budick, Selena Fennick, Mystic Art Mirrors, and others. This one, I have done the majority of the Mariola Budick pages in here because I love how she illustrates mermaids. I mean, I love mermaids, and this whole issue is just stunning. Here's Christine Karron. And I have done Enchanting Eyes. So this one was actually a Elm Colors. Erica puts out a gorgeous palette during Mermaid, and she had like 4 different colorways for coloring merms. And so what I did was I took the 4 colors of that palette, and that's what I used to color in the page. So it's just the blue, the teal, the orange, and the pink with the 4 colors. And so I used that to color in the whole page. And yeah, love how it came together. I then used some iridescent watercolor in the background and some white ink that I splattered on top to be like bubbles. Yeah, just Inktense. Really simple, but fun to play around with that color combo. And then we get into the Mariola Budick merms. So this one is another one, when I spilt the gold acrylic ink, I was like, what can I use it on? And I decided to use it up on the background here. And then I decided to watercolor this whole page. I remember just being so proud of what I did with the watercolor. I love my rainbow fish. So, so cute. And then on top of the watercolor, I used Posca to both outline and highlight. Stickles, of course. And then I splattered a bunch of inks around as well on top. Yeah. And then we have the clamshell. So this one uses alcohol markers to base, Polychromos pencils to shade. I also used a fine liner and drew in a bunch of freckles on her because I thought she'd look adorable with some freckles. I used a watercolor just to fill in the background sand. This is a glitter paint, a glitter gel paint that like the gel tints it, but it isn't fully opaque, and then it's got rainbow glitter in it, and there's a little bit of Deco Art Enchanted Shimmer on the scepter as well. So that's clamshell. And then we have Seahorse Friend. This one is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, and then I used a blue metallic pen to go around the characters, and I decided to just draw in some extra bubbles rather than make it wider, to just fill in the space, which I think was a cool way to fill it out. Then we have the jellyfish page, which I still love this page. I used inks in the background, my Liquitex acrylic inks, and then alcohol markers to base, and then polychromos pencils to shade, Posca pen to obviously outline everything, and a bunch of stickles in the bubbles. And yeah, I was really, really, really proud of this one. I actually posted it in the Colouring Heaven group, which I don't really do anymore, but I did post in that group back then, and Colouring Heaven actually shared this one to promote the Mermaid special, so that was really cool. That was such a cool nod for me. So yeah, very cool special moment with that one. And I don't know if there's anything. Oh yeah, no, these are Mystic Art Mirrors one. This one is alcohol markers. And she's got like a bunch of freckles that went over with a gold metallic gel pen, and stickles as well, because glitter freckles. Yeah, pretty simple, just alcohol markers. I remember this one, I just wanted a simple, quick page to do, and I really like the look of this one. And there's one more in here too. I lied, we're still going. We also have a page by Dewan Davidson. So this one is watercolor and iridescent watercolor in the background that I've smushed around everywhere, and then I've worked on top with polychromos pencils. And yeah, I was trying to also do some different colored waters during a mermaid. So that's how this one came to be. I do really like it though, like the way that the watercolor is sort of pulled in the background and it frames it, and then the harmonious sort of browns, pinky tones. Yeah, really, really like it. All right, I think that's everything in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Yep, 7 pages. Cool. Bad Girls special. Right, there you are on the list. We should have 5 in here. Another Assorted Artist. This has got Daria Kakasoi, Rosa Wana Mama. Again, sorry, I'm butchering. Matt Davidson, Anne Marine, J.M. Liotti, Mayumi Ogahara, Mitzi Satso Worth, Yuriko Shuri, and others. And this is what I love about Colouring Heaven, is you're just finding illustrators you probably never would have heard of. It's also a great way to try different illustrators that maybe you've heard of but can't get their full books of. Yeah. Cool. So that's the first one back here. This one here, which I still absolutely adore how this came together. I used water-based markers as watercolor. And there's a little bit of Posca for like the stars and then the eyes, and of course a little bit of stickles. I love all the little kitties hiding in the background too. Yeah, love the little doll, love the little details, and yeah, I was really, really pleased with how I shaded this in using Crayolas as super tips, as watercolor basically. I know words, I'm doing well. Then we have Midnight Spell. I actually started this one on a car journey, so I just had my polychromos pencils, and all I knew I wanted to do was colour in the red sky, and I just coloured away at this and then finished it off once we got out of the car later on. Yeah, entirely polychromos pencils. It probably needs more and more layers and stuff like that, but again, it kept me going during the car journey, and that was the main thing. Oh, and not a car journey, a bus journey for this one, which is a little different than a car journey, because when I'm on a long bus journey, it's a little smoother, so it's a little easier to colour certain things. Then we have this one here, which again, this is by Anna Marine and uses water-based markers as watercolour. So Crayola Super Tips. There's a little bit of Liquitex gold acrylic ink as well. I actually really like that I didn't do anything in the background here. I've just got a bit of splatter. I think it's beautiful in its simplicity like that. It doesn't need a background. Now I'll probably go in with a white paint pen and just add a few more highlights and stuff in, but love it. I did add some in, but yeah. Love, love, love that page. Then we have this one here, the frog page, and this is by, I always butcher to say this name. I don't know how to say it. This is one word, RosrysowaNAMAMA. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. And I struggle every year when I show this illustrator. I don't even think that's going to pick up on it. But yeah, I love, love, love their work. Don't know anything more about them. I really should find more of their work. So I've got the frog page. So this one uses water. I think I use watercolors to do all this. And then lots and lots of shimmer watercolors as well. Lots of shimmeriness on the page. I used a iridescent brush pen to like shade in the water here and add this water in as well. I love my shimmery little rain frog. And then I have Frog Girl. This one is alcohol markers, a little bit of polychromos for shading, paint pens, and stickles. And then I use distress inks with a stencil in the background here. Yeah, I love this one. I think this is so cute. I love the way the face is. Very pleased with the face there. I think that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on the list. 5 on the list. Right. Gods and Goddesses Special. This is by Jashley, the beautiful Jashley. I have done just the one in here, which is Aphrodite, page 1, Goddess of Love. And so this one, I use some water-soluble crayons in the background. And then I actually coloured her with Crayola coloured pencils out of all things. Yeah, just really trying them out and seeing what I could do with them. And I just was very, very impressed with it. And then I did use the Crayola glitter markers that I had to do all the animals and glitter. Because it's like, well, we might as well keep it a Crayola page. And then a little bit of paint pen. And then, yeah, I did actually block out the border of this one. Not very well. It's used 2 different types, acrylic paint and then some sort of black marker there. But yeah, I like her. I think she's really cool. I love this book. It is so stunning. Jashley's work is gorgeous. It's really cool. That's the Gods and Goddesses Special by Jashley. Okay. Refresh myself with a coffee. And now we can carry on with the Gothic Fantasy Special, which is different from the Gothic's Beauty Special. This one is entirely Ineos Guerrero, and I have just the one done in here, which is the moon, and is absolutely stunning. I used alcohol markers to colour this whole page, and originally it had some waves in here and she's coming out of the waves, but I used too dark of a marker to see that wave. So what I did was I used shimmer sprays to kind of add in that misty, wavy goodness. And then alcohol markers and polychromos pencils to shade, although there is a bit of Prismacolor in her here. Stickles, of course, and yeah, more stickles. Lots of stickles on this one. And I really tried to focus on bringing some blue glow into her, like she's being illuminated by the blue moon. I really love how she came together. Yeah, the movement in that page, I think, is what captured me. I really loved it. Alright, and that's the only page done in the Gothic Fantasy Special. the Little Cutie special, which has got designs by Dira Kakazoi. Daria Kakazoi. I am butchering names left and right. I am so sorry. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Alright, Little Cuties. Two. We should have two done in here. You can see one. Oh, yep. There's the second one. So this one is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, a little bit of Posca paint pen, some gold metallic gel pen, and then some iridescent paint medium on her wings as well. I remember I did this one around this time last year, actually, around my birthday, because I did rainbow hair on another page, and I really loved how the rainbow hair looked, so I did it on this one too. And then I have also done this page here, which I have used watercolors for. And then do I use alcohol markers to base? No. I think maybe I used Inktense to base, to be honest. I feel like this was an Inktense page, and this might be Inktense in the background too. And then there's some iridescent topper medium for like on the tail and on the shells. A little bit of stickles for the bubbles. And yeah, just going for this really harmonious colour palette for the orangey, pinky, orangey, red and purple. And the goldfish. Which I really like as well. And that is all I have managed to do in here so far. There's some gorgeous grayscale, like really dark grayscale ones I think will be fun to colour. But that is the Little Cutie special. Alright. Alice in Wonderland special. So this has got designs by Eva Ninkawin. I have done just the one in here. Yep, that one there. The Queen Alice page. So this page originally had this gorgeous design, and then there was like quite a detailed pattern behind her, and I didn't really care for that pattern at all. So very, very carefully I cut around the whole page and removed it and removed that section, and then I stuck in a piece of scrapbooking card. So this page has got quite a bit of thickness to it now, but yeah, I thought this beautiful vintage rose pattern would be a perfect background behind Alice. I used a gold washi tape to frame it up so that it would not only like hide my little edges around here that I kept to keep it nice and flat, but you know, seal it up, but put a nice frame on it. Then I used polychromos pencils to colour in all of her with a little bit of stickles. And I love how it came together. I think this gold frame also makes it look like it's a portrait hanging in a gallery. Like that's the mood that I get from this page, is it's a portrait in a frame. And yeah, it makes me very happy. I really do love how that one came together. This is a gorgeous book. I've seen some really gorgeous work done in here. That's the Alice in Wonderland special. Nouveau Fairy special. I think this is technically my oldest colouring heaven. This is one issue before the Creatures of the Night special. So I think this is technically my oldest one. This has got designs by Herb Leonard. Nouveau Fairies, where are you on my list? There you are. We have done just the one in here, apparently. So yeah, lots of gorgeous fairies. I need to show this book some love during February because it would be perfect. And somewhere around here, feels like in the front here, here we go. Cherry Fairy. This one was a how many mediums can I chuck at a page? So we have alcohol markers, we have polychromos and Faber-Castell classic coloured pencils. We have some paint pens to highlight. We have Deco Art Enchanted Shimmer. We have paint pens, iridescent paint, which is different from the Enchanted Shimmer. We have Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. We have some stickles in there. And then we have I think that's just a black alcohol marker. Yeah. It was a lot. I went into this one with no plans. I was just going with feels and vibes and just picking out colours as I went along. So it's not the most cohesive thing in the world, but I like it. I remember I had a lot of fun doing it. It's just, what can we throw at the page? So yeah, not the most cohesive thing in the world, but it's cute. And I'm pleased that we got a page done in here. Hopefully this year we'll get some more done in here. So that is the Nouveau Fairy Special by Herb Leonard. And we have the Steampunk Special. This is another older one. And for a long time I couldn't even work in this one because I was just so intimidated by it because it's beautiful. But also it's a lot of metals because it's steampunk. So this is a mixture of both Dawn and Matt Davidson. And they're really neat illustrations. Very cool book. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I didn't color in it for a long time because I was so intimidated to like color all this metal. I'm still not the strongest at metal, but I think I could do an alright job on some of these now. But the Dawn Davidson ones are a little bit simpler. I love this one. So the first one that I colored was a Dawn one because hers felt a little less intimidating. So I did this one, which is On Time. And so this one uses, I think, watercolors. Yeah, watercolor in the background. And then some shimmer spray. And then I think alcohol markers that I use Prismacolor on top of. That's what it looks like to me. I didn't actually use any paint pen on that for highlights. I think I was just happy with the as is. Yeah. I do really love her colour combo. Purple and gold and brown. It's a good combo. So yeah, pretty simple, but I love it. And I did finally do a page in the Steampunk Special. Right. Manga Fantasy Special, not to be confused with the Manga Fairy Special. Or the Manga Fantasy. No, that's the one we got here. There's a few. So this one features designs by Sonia Leong. I have done just the one in here. Somewhere in here. It feels like it should be in here. Yeah, it is. Okay. Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. That one did stick down a little bit. That's okay. So we have this one here, which I absolutely love. I used Distress Inks for the background. And then alcohol marker with Prismacolor to shade her. And then Mod Podge Extreme Glitter on the fairies. And I did miss entirely glittering one fairy in there, which has always cracked me up. So there's just one fairy that doesn't have glitter. And I'm always like, oh, I should go in and fix it. And I never do. And unfortunately, this one I put away and the glue hadn't fully cured. So I do have a couple of patches where this kind of adhered, which isn't ideal. That's okay. If you use the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, there is and you don't open a book for a long time, like, you know, years, they can fuse together. It's the same with acrylic paints and any of those sort of iridescent toppers and stuff like that. So that's why in a lot of my double-sided books I try to put a protection sheet, but in this one it's single-sided, so it's fine. If you're not prepared for that risk, don't use glitters. Right, this is another Josh Lee one. This is Mythical Hybrids Special. And I believe we've just done the one in here. Yes, just the one. And where's my lion lady? There she is. I loved colouring this. Not just because they were abs, because abs are fun to colour. So this is all polychromos pencils. A little bit of Posca for some highlights, but polychromos pencils. And yeah, I was definitely proud when I finished this one. I was really happy with the colour blend and the backwards glow, and yeah. I'm very happy how it came together. Also, she must be ginormous compared to the lion. I try not to think about that too much. She must be huge. But yeah, this is a really cool book with really interesting character designs. So, absolutely love it. Mythical Hybrid Special by Josh Lee. The Christmas Special, which I normally pull out at Christmas time. I did not in 2025. So this is the 2021 Christmas Special, just because there are multiple years. So this one is Micah Julinia, Hannah Lynn, Fabrica Fantasy, Zoe Zedler, Lenika Filinko, and more. Yeah, sometimes I don't have room to put all the illustrators on there. Oh, those are cute. I'm very much giving Hannah Lynn vibes too. All right. And I should have done 2 in here. Oh, that's cute. Didn't even know that was in my collection. I have to try and remember that for Christmas time next year. Kitties, that's right. We've done this one by Fabrica Fantasy. This one I was using gouache. Mostly watered down as watercolor. But yeah, playing around with that. Is it the greatest thing in the world that I've ever done? No, but I, again, had a lot of fun painting it. I was very proud of how it turned out. I thought it looked really cute. And I painted the whole thing, which wasn't my comfy, I can do this. I did realise later on I never painted in that bow. So that ribbon's obviously crystal white. Yeah. Again, it's just part of the journey, and it's a snapshot of the journey and the process of learning. And this is part of my learning of how to control water mediums and build up tones with water mediums. Plus, it's really cute. It's cats and Christmas. Like, how can I not colour that one? And then there should be another one, apparently. Yeah, there we go. That's right. I've got another Hannah Lynn one. So this one I was just trying to colour Hannah Lynn as is and be like, we'll just colour it. We'll just do it as is, you know? I won't overthink this. I'll just go for it. And yeah, again, I did really enjoy it. I can understand the appeal of colouring Hannah Lynn. Like, colouring this is like, yeah, I get it. I understand why people enjoy it. Doesn't gravitate me to her style a lot, but I did enjoy colouring it. So I'll enjoy colouring the Hannah Lynns I have left in these magazines to colour. Still doesn't make me really want to rush out and grab her books. Maybe her mermaid book. I could probably make an exception for mermaids because it's mermaids, but yeah, I did enjoy that. I really like him. And he has the least intense eyes out of all of them, so maybe that's why I like him the most. Yeah, but just alcohol markers and Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, and I think a little bit of Posca paint pen, and that's it. Really quite straightforward. So that's the 2 in the Christmas special. And then last in this pile is Winter Gnomes. And this is got Mariola Budek, who I love, Ava Brown, Chet Minton, Chroma Gnomes, and the Whimsical Art Witch. And you know, I have done the Mariola Budeks because I love her work. So I've done 9 in here apparently. So this first one is alcohol markers to base, polychromos pencils to shade, Mod Podge Extreme Glitter on all the baubles, and then the background is done with distress inks, and I did use a little bit of like tree stencil to build a little bit of a forest as well. Then we have the Gnomes in Love, and again this one is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils for shading. There's a bunch of metallic gel pens for the hat details, and then for the background I drew in a bunch of hearts and then used this confetti gel glitter paint to paint over it to fill in the background because I thought that would be really cute. And yeah, I know at this point I was pulling a lot of random colours from the alcohol marker tubs, so the colours are wild, but that's okay. Gnome with Presents. This one is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, stickles. So many different stickles. I basically tried to use every single color of my stickles collection. I had more stickles. But yeah, I love the rainbow glitter presents. There's also a little bit of watercolor down here just to ground it. But yeah, rainbow glitter presents. So the outer gnome, this one is alcohol markers. This one I use Prismacolors for shading on. A little bit of distress ink down here for the ground and for the glow of the lantern up here. A little bit of paint pen for highlight. And then I did use some like 3D Pearl puff paints to do the details on this hat here. Really don't like using these. The texture's weird. But I did that. Then we have the Reef Gnome. This one is alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, a little bit of Posca paint pen, and distress ink. Alright, gnome with candle. We have alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, a little bit of paint pen. This one I also had... No, it's the next one. So I was working on this one and I thought I had my protection sheet in place and I had it 2 pages behind. And so unfortunately, as I was doing the stick, it did colour onto the next page and I'd finished the next page already. So I'm a little gutted about that because the next page I also really, really love. So you can just see the outline of the cane there. Luckily I realised pretty early on, but I was pretty gutted when it happened. So this one uses alcohol marker. Yeah, alcohol marker to base. And then polychromos pencils for shading. I also used a bunch of metallic paint pens to do all the details on the presents. Posca paint pens for highlights and stickles. Then we have the gnome sledding, which is alcohol markers, a little bit of metallic glitter paint pens, polychromos for shading, Posca paint pens, Mod Podge Extreme glitter on the snow, and something that I've never come across before but have now got is we've got a bright pink transference. So do you line up with, you do, you line up with the red alcohol marker on here. So where the red alcohol marker is on there, it has actually discoloured some of the snow and created a little bit of a bright pink snow, but maybe there's just some pink in the snow for some reason or something's reflecting pink. It's okay. It's fine. It happens. This isn't like, you know, I'm not trying to be museum quality here. I colour for my mental health, my well-being and my enjoyment, and sometimes things get messy. And if you're somebody that gets annoyed by these sort of things, well, take note of what's bleeding through. Cheap alcohol markers, and maybe don't use that product. If someone that's worried about the pages sticking together, Mod Podge Extreme glitter is not for you. This stuff is notorious. Right, page 9. Caroling Gnomes. This one uses alcohol markers, polychromos pencils, a little bit of Posca paint pens, and metallic gel pens and glitter gel pens. And then I think that's everything in the book that I've coloured, which is all the Mariola Boutique pages. Yep. Yeah, I love Mariola Boutique's work, so I keep meaning to go to her Etsy store and buy some of her books because in all my colouring heavens that have Mariola Boutique, I've basically coloured all the Mariola Boutique, so I really do need to get her work. Right, so that should be all the special issues that are like an actual magazine. However, we did pull a couple of the collection issues in the specials pile, so maybe there's some specials in the collection piles. But there are also some PDF books. So I don't buy Colouring Heaven magazines now. Again, the shop that I used to buy them from is closed down. I don't have a subscription and I'm not interested in really getting a subscription because, again, you can see the size of my collection. We're only halfway through. I have a lot of Colouring Heaven. I don't feel the need to get every issue now, and when there is an issue that I really like the look of, a lot of the time now you can buy them digitally. So that is how I choose to buy my Colouring Heavens now, because I can then go and get them printed and enjoy them that way. And so most of what I have digitally, I think, is Fabiana Trudy, to be honest. I think I've got a Jashley. We'll find out, but I know I've got a couple of Fabiana Trudy because I do love her work. Yeah, so this is Colouring Heaven, the Little Mermaid special. And as I said, this is Fabiana Trudy. Absolutely love. And I've done 3 in here. So this is out of order too. I rearranged this book to put the completed ones at the front because you can, because it's a PDF book. Because it also gets a bit wild all over the place. The only thing is, so you can buy Colouring Heaven magazines off their website. You can also buy them off their Etsy page. If you buy them off Etsy, they come in and they're designed to be printed double-sided because they've got, you know, the numbers and then the image. But the Etsy file splits it into 3 parts. And where the cuts are between these files, what happens is you start printing. So, you know, this is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, and then you've got page 4 with the background information. You'd think you'd cut it off there so you could do page 5, page 6, and it would keep marrying across because this number would refer to this image. It doesn't. What they do is they'll, you know, they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until about 15 or 13 or so, and then they cut it after this. So then this becomes this side when you start to print the next file, and then the image is on the back. And what that means is when you try to put it into the book, it doesn't line up right. It's such a little thing, and I don't print my own images. I get it printed at a print shop. So unless I am at this print shop when it is absolutely dead quiet and I can go, cool, here's the file. It's in 3 parts. Can you print part 1 just straight up? And then when you get to part 2, is there any way you can make the first page blank and then carry it on the back? And like, it's not just one file that you click print on if you're trying to print the entire book. If you download it from their website, you get the entire book as one file. Just going to let you know. Anyway, that ramble is just a thing for me that I find incredibly frustrating. And this is why this book is not in order, because, yeah, you can see here that the pages flip around because that is where the printing changes. So I've given up trying to keep this book in order. Yeah, anyway, ramble. I don't know what page number this is. This has got back on 8 on the back, so this could be 7 or this could be 9. I can't remember. I love it anyway. So this has got acrylic ink and iridescent watercolor in the background, and then I use polychromos pencils to shade her in, Mod Podge Extreme glitter, and Liquitex gold acrylic ink, and then a bunch of shimmer spray ink and white Liquitex ink to do the bubbles on top. Yeah, she's so shimmery, this one. So shimmery. So much iridescent watercolor in the background. Love. And really fun to just play around with like a very monochromatic page too. And then we have this one here. Again, it could be page 20. And the way it's worked is, you know, that's meant to be there and this could be here, or this could be page 21 or 19. I don't know. But again, I have a shimmer spray that is a really dark navy, and that's what's in the background here. But I added lots of water to bleed it out because it's notorious for bleeding through my paper. So I try to use it on single-sided things and find ways to use up the shimmer spray, not just by spritzing it on stuff, although I love to use it that way. I did drop in iridescent watercolor into the background as well. Polychromos pencils to shade her. This is a iridescent brush marker, Jill the Coral. And then she had quite a bit of detailed jewelry on her. A lot of them in here have really gorgeous but detailed jewelry. Like, the jewelry work is stunning. If you want a book just to practice colouring gems and jewelry on, stunning book. But I couldn't be bothered, to be perfectly frank. But I just got it in a bunch of stickers that had like these gem stickers on there. So I like cut a couple of them up to piece them together, and I just pulled out the red ones and played around and layered and just stuck those on. And I love the stickers on there. So of course you can see that they are stickers in certain light, but if you look at it like that, you don't see the stickers, you know, they just look like part of it. And that was really cool. So that's that page. And then again, no idea. Somewhere around 11. So this one, I started with Inktense. I had a Inktense pencil, part of the nib broke off, so I put it in a little container with water and made a bunch of watercolor or ink basically from it. And so I used that one color to base this whole page, and I was really trying to build up depth and tone, which you can see, like we've got the light and we've got the dark, but I also washed it over like the background items and the sharks and really tried to get that in place. And then on top of that, I think I actually used more Inktense to colour her, by the look of it. Yeah. And then I know I used some polychromos pencils to also shade a few elements. Lots of more of the dark shimmer spray as well, spritzed on top. And some Liquitex white ink, just to spritz around. And then again, I couldn't be bothered doing all the jewelry because no. But instead, I had all these little gems. You can see one of them is missing, so I'll need to get a replacement one, which is fine. I do have replacement ones. But I decided to stick those on for all the little bits on her. Love how that turned out. That's really cute. I think maybe that one's actually meant to be over there. I think you have just moved out of place. So you might need another glue down or something. Yeah, that's what it's meant to be. Okay. Yeah. But that's also it's like they're quite three-dimensional, those gems. So that's also why it needs to live a little separately. But I love that one as well. I really like this book, and you can see I like getting a bit messy in here. And of course it's a PDF, so it's real easy to pull these pages out and just have fun. That's a real good example of just the beautiful portraiture. Yeah, stunning book. I love Fabriana Tredi's work. I love the way she does people. So it's a Little Mermaid special, and we should have 3. We do. And then we have here Angels and Demons special. This has got designs by Jash Lee. There is a hashtag that I think it's Holly Berry and Piggy Pens. I could be very wrong, and I apologize. I feel like it's you two that are doing the Angels and the Light versus Dark prompt this year, and in January it is Angels and Demons. But the idea is like 2 halves make a whole, or you know, Light versus Dark. So this is like the perfect book for it, because these, you know, Angels and Demons. There's lots of angels, there's lots of demons. You know, very easy to play around with that light and dark concept and stuff like that. So yeah, perfect book for it if you're needing something. And again, you can buy it digitally, as you can see here. But I have done the one page in here, which is the Grandma Angel page. I love this page. I think it's so cool to see like a grandma represented as well. So I was like, yes, grandma page. So this one is alcohol markers to base, and then there is, I think there's also some Inktense. No, sorry, I was doing this as a buddy with somebody else, and they were using Inktense on theirs. Mine is alcohol markers, and then I use polychromos pencils to deepen the shading. There is some Posca paint pen to go over some of these swirly bits, which I also went over with stickles as well, and highlights on like the swords and stuff like that. And the colors that I've chosen here are very specific, because when I looked at this image, now not the shape, not the glasses in particular, shape of the glasses, but the style of the dress with the pearls and the way the face was done. The nose isn't quite 100% right, but a lot of it kind of reminded me of my own grandma. And so as soon as I saw it, I kind of wanted to take inspiration from my own Nana. And the one outfit I remembered the most from her was this beautiful teal dress with her pearls. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm doing this as a teal dress. And then I thought purple and yellow would be a good complementary for the background and her epic wings. And I just love the fact she's got a sword. Like, come on, grandma with a sword? That's awesome. Such a cool page. So yeah, that's the one page I have done from the Angel and Demons special, and hopefully I'm wanting to pull it out for the hashtag in January. We'll see. Again, the goals in 2026 is not pushing myself. We'll do what we need to do. Right, this one here, this book here is one leaf too short to fit every single page in, so I have to double up on the front cover. Come out. So yeah, the front and back covers live in here. I probably should just move this around or get another one of those clippy ones. But this is a fantasy romance special by, again, Fabiana Tredi. So yeah, there's a couple of these, the front cover and the back cover and the final page just in this front section, as well as page one. Yeah, it works for me. Like, it's just one page too short. I could technically pull out the front cover and actually just stick it here as well, because it's not like I'm going to color it. So, but that would also mean moving every single page in the book again, which, ugh. But yeah, this one is absolutely gorgeous. Fantasy romantic special. Fabiana Tredi. I have done one in here. I just love her work. I love the way she does people and her dragons, and yeah. Somewhere in here there should be a page. There you are. Oh, okay, take the page out behind it too. So this is the completed page here. So for this one, I used alcohol markers because, of course, PDF book, so I can do that. We've got some yellowing on the back side, but it hasn't come through here. That's fine. So yeah, alcohol markers and then polychromos pencils to shade. There is some metallic iridescent brush pens to do like details of a dress, as well as a gold metallic gel pen to do the embroidery. Yeah, I don't know, she's cool. I like her. I can't remember if she was meant to be like a bad queen or a cool queen. I think it's the gentle queen. I think it's meant to be like that. And then the next one, the guardian of animals too, is that one. I think that's how that one works. Yeah, that's the page there in Fantasy Romantics Special. So this is the Chibi Tarot Special, which is another Jash Lee one as well. This one is, I've done the one. And I know Candice at Happy Catastrophe has a colour tarot. Should see if she's aware of this issue, because super cute issue. But yes, I think I've just done the Empress. This page here, I'll get that one out. Super cute book. I think I used water-based markers for this one. I'm pretty sure this is one I just did in bed because I wasn't feeling too great, and it was just cutesy and cute and perfect to colour. So yeah, water-based markers and a gold metallic gel pen. Pretty straightforward. I do like the colours of this one. I keep meaning to. I love the High Priestess in a wheelchair. Keep meaning to come in and colour this book because, oh, so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, really cute book. Lots of great pages. It doesn't have the entire deck, even with them putting an extra 8 pages to make it 48. I think the tarot deck is like 56. Yeah, it's not quite the entire tarot deck. That's pretty close. So that's the Chibi Tarot Special by Jess Lee. Then we have the Woodland Fantasy Special with designs by Adele Lorraine. So this is actually quite an old one, but you can buy it as a digital. And I really thought it was quite neat, the illustration, so I decided to grab it. Again, I've done one in here. Which is this page here. Again, I did this one in bed, and it is all polychromos pencils. Didn't even base it. Just lots and lots of layers of polys. And a little bit of a gold metallic gel pen. Yeah, I just really liked like the mossy jacket and all the leaves and stuff like that. And then the feathers, I was taking a lot of inspiration from tuis, because in my windows beside my art room in my bedroom, I could look out on some trees, and the tuis often like to nest in there, so I see them often, and I really love their colorway. So I was taking inspiration from their blue feathers. Yeah, I thought purple would be a good combo to kind of go with all these colors. I really do like how that one came together. And then the last PDF book lives in this one. This one is kind of hard to mark how many pages is done, but supposedly I have done 3, and this one is technically a collection one as well, and that is the Paper Dolls collection. Now this one I brought originally to give one of my nibblings as a gift for Christmas, which big hit. But of course, since I was buying it, I also was like, I'll print out a copy for myself, and I'll sit with the nibbling and maybe do a few pages and stuff like that. Honest to God, it's so fun. I have so much fun with this. So each page is its own individual little character with different clothes that you can colour in. The cutting out is definitely fiddly, especially on some of these pages. Like, it takes a while. I'll do that. I'll admit that. Love those. But then once they're done, they are really fun. So I got that printed on some really thick cardstock, and then I just keep a little baggie in here. So this is how I'm going to have to show you these completed pages. Sorry. We're going to have to play with some paper dolls. Oh, noes. So yeah, I can tell by the number of dolls how many pages I've done, and I believe it's 3 pages, which would match the markings, yes. And I don't believe these designs necessarily go with these specific dolls, but they do. Like, the dolls are uniform in size, so you can switch the elements across multiple dolls, which is really cool as well. In you go. So fiddly. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the fiddly little piece. But yeah, these are the 3 dolls that I have done. They are actually wearing clothes, which is nice. But a few of their tags have come up while they've been sitting in there. One day I should probably go in there and cut out the little sections of her hair that are meant to be cut out, but hey. So yeah, these are the 3 little dolls. So I just use water-based markers primarily to just colour these in. Just have a bit of fun with water-based markers. Sometimes I pull out fine liners or glitter gel pens, and you can see I also sometimes pull out stickers as well, especially these little dot stickers that I have. For these wings here, what I did was I did permanently stick the wings to her, because this one is meant to be a little fae. So I figured it would be easier to stick her wings on permanently, because it does give you like little tabs I suppose you're meant to cut into her. It seemed really weird. So what I did was, instead I just stuck a piece of tape, but I only stuck it across the middle, so her wings are sort of loose on the sides, so you can still put the dresses around and still absolutely dress her or dress them with no issue, apart from, today's not a great day for my hands, and so it's quite fiddly. Yeah, and then this one I put washi tape on the wings because glitter. But yeah, so I've done like a bunch of the little clothes and had fun just colouring in the dresses. Again, I love to stick little gem stickers on these. I think they're really cute. Use a little bit of metallic pens, or just, this one's been used a few times. I know when my nibbling and I do this, nibbling likes to use the tights. So yeah, it does take a while to cut all these pieces out. It's truly the worst part of this, is cutting all these pieces out, but it is so much fun. And I mean, technically you could just colour the page and enjoy colouring the fashions and not cut all the pieces out, but I don't know, I have fun dressing the dolls and doing the different bits and pieces, and choosing like a little outfit and then adding in the coordinating necklace. And when my hands are having a good day, it's good. When my hands are not having a good day, then this is a nightmare. But yeah, I love it, and I have recommended this a few times, this particular issue, because like you can buy it from their website. It's, I think, £5 is how much they charge. Maybe it's £6. I'm not 100% sure. I know it cost me about $8 New Zealand at the time. Like, it was pretty cheap for the actual issue. And then I went and got it printed on my own paper. So the paper I brought a specific pack of paper. It cost a little bit, and then the printing, I think it cost me about $20 to print 2 copies of this. And yeah, very cheap Christmas present. But also, it's a PDF, so I can reprint it, and I can also gift it to other nibblings as well. Like, it's a continual activity, and in a few years, because the nibbling has already coloured their entire book of this, absolutely loved it, has done a ton of it, and in a couple of years I can print it again for them. I can print it for other nibblings, like, yeah. And I, as auntie, also have fun sometimes sitting down and designing doll clothes, as those of you who watch the channel know, and know about my current deep dive obsession into dolls. So yeah, that is the paper dolls collection. And I didn't say, but these are designs by Rachel Cohen. Yeah, really fun book. So that all just lives in there. It's a little collection. Right, let's go and get the next pile. Okay, next pile. So these ones should be all collection ones, but again, the shelves get a bit mixed up sometimes. So this is another Jash Lee issue. This is Kings and Queens, and I unfortunately have not worked in here yet. Another really gorgeous issue with also a lot of information in it, which is really cool. Yeah, I've always loved her design, and Maria Theresa. But there's one page in here too. Catherine Demichi is also very cool. This one, I thought it would be really cool to do this sort of as like stonework and make a very statue. Yeah. So that is Boudica. Yeah, I'm probably butchering that. But yeah, I thought it would be really cool to turn her into sort of stonework or a statue. Could be quite a cool look. But yeah, haven't worked in here yet. Very cool book though. Maybe one day soon. Kings and Queens collection. Then we have the Birds collection. This is by Coco Wayo. Alright. Actually, did I mark the Kings and Queens collection? Did I check that one? I did not. And Be Free. Cool. Right. So it's the Birds collection by Coco Wayo. I have done just the one in here. Somewhere in here. I do remember doing this one. There you are. The chickadees. So for this one, I used a water-soluble crayon, like a pastel, the Reeves water-soluble pastels in the background. Alcohol markers to base. No. I just use Inktense to base. Did I not base at all? I used Prismacolor for shading, that's for certain. Oh, it looks like I did base. I'd say that's Inktense basing. Prismacolor for shading, Liquitex gold acrylic ink that I've splattered all over, which gives a beautiful shimmer to the page as well. And I really love my little chickadees. I think they're so cute. Such a cute little page. Sadly, no kiwis in here, but still a really neat book, especially if you like covering birds. So that's Colouring Heaven Collection Birds by Coco Wire. We have the Legends of Japan collection. Somewhere in here. There you are. This is another Maud Lamone issue. I've only done the one in here. I haven't done as much as my other Maud Lamone issue. It is just as gorgeous. But there are a few more non-portraiture pages in this one, which is a bit sad. But yeah, still love her portraits. Still a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Always love that one. It's just so sweet. I have the one page done in here, which is the Kitsune. So for this one, I believe it's alcohol markers, and the notorious red that likes to bleed. Alcohol markers, there is water-soluble crayon in this background, polychromos for shading, and then a little bit of paint pen as well, gold's Liquitex acrylic ink for all the gold, and then Deco Art Enchanted Shimmer for over the flowers as well to give a little bit of shimmer. Yeah, I love how I did her hair, like the detail in her hair in particular. Even if it's the red that's notorious for bleeding, it's fine. I just love how it came together. And of course the little touches of gold and shimmer always make me happy too. That is the Legends of Japan special by Maud Lamone. Then we have the Pets Rock special, and I know I have not worked in this one. There you are. Not special, collection. Yeah. I love this issue just to look at. Like, I've pulled this out and shown so many people this issue because it's hilarious. So these animals are very clearly interpretations of celebrities or different well-known figures. So yeah, I haven't coloured any of them yet because it just, I don't know, there's something about it. It just cracks me up though. I really should. They're just so funny. They're so funny. So yeah, it's quite a neat little issue. Yeah, just lots of funny animals. I love it. Again, I've pulled it out and shown it to so many people because it's such a neat issue, but I just haven't coloured in it myself. One day. Then we have the Vintage Costume issue, and this has got designs by Jasmine Darnell. And I have done 2 in here. And I love how they look. So for this one, I actually used washi tape to do all the clothes, that beautiful floral pattern. And then I used polychromos pencils to shade the rest, as well as some gold Liquitex ink and a little bit of glitter in the background as well. And basically for the 2 pages I did in here, I just chose a washi tape. I used that for the majority of the clothes and then worked the palette around the washi tape. And that was kind of my plan for the whole book. I just haven't made it back to colour any more of them in here. So I should do that because it's a lot of fun. So I've got this one here. So I started with a little bit of washi tape. And then I used polychromos pencils, gold Liquitex acrylic ink, and I think a little bit of Posca as well. Yeah. I really like that purple and green combo. But yeah, lots of really cool, detailed, frilly dresses. Lots of fun to colour. Vintage Costume Collection by Jasmine Darnell. And then we have the Stained Glass Flowers collection, which has got designs by Dina Stone. And I have done just the one in here. This one was one of the issues when it came in. I started to go and ah about, because I was like, don't really know if this is my thing. Like, it's flowers, but it's also stained glass. I decided to get it because I saw a video that they put up of like how to color stained glass, and I thought it would be really cool to color along with that, and then I've never done it. So I have got the one in here, which is this one here, and it's okay. Alcohol marker, a little bit of pencil, a little bit of stickles. Just trying to figure out making it like a stained glass effect. I think I would like to try another one and really try to play around with that stained glass effect and see if I can actually reproduce to look like stained glass. But yeah, this one is another one where I might look at unhauling it because I just don't see myself coloring this one. I could see it as a good mindless one if I just like treated each section as a flat color and just colored in. But yeah, I just don't gravitate to this issue, so I think I'd like to try one more where I do actually try the glass effect, and then that's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. Although that being said, I did just realize this would be a really good one for paper crafting, like using different types of scrapbooking paper and piecing it together like a puzzle. Like instead of making it out of glass pieces, we're making it out of scrapbooking paper. That's a really neat idea. I think I need to try that. Because, yeah, I could photocopy this and then essentially turn it into a puzzle and just cut out the different pieces and then choose different scrapbooking papers and transfer it to scrapbooking papers and cut it out of there and then repiece it back together. I think we're going to give that a go, guys. I think I like that idea. That's actually got me really excited about this book. And it's not something I've looked at in a long time. There we go. I might need to put that to the side. I need to photocopy that. The Sea Life collection. Something I am more likely to colour because Sea Life. So this was my first ever introduction to Rita Berman because it actually has Rita Berman in here, as well as Tim Jeff's Ruby Charm colours and some more. And I've just done the one in here, which is the Rita Berman, a Rita Berman page. So yeah, I have this chaotic page here. I love how this turned out. So this one uses lots of alcohol markers, a little bit of polychromos pencil for shading, and then the background is also alcohol markers, and then lots of Mod Podge extreme glitter to cover over all of that as well. And yeah, I had so much fun with this one. I absolutely loved it. And when I did it, I didn't have any Rita Berman books at the time, but literally the month I did this, I also got gifted my first ever Rita Berman, which was absolutely amazing. So I got to do lots of Rita Berman that month for the first time ever, which is cool. But yeah, there's still a few more pages in here, and of course I do still have, you know, her actual book as well, but it's not bad to have it in here as well as the other gorgeous pages in here. I really do like these Tim Jeff ones. That'd be really cool to just do with some watercolor. Anyway, that is the Sea Life collection. We have adorable animals, and this is designs by Sweeter Kraus, I think is how it's pronounced. I have done one in here. It's a case with a lot of my colouring books. I've just done the one. This one's so cute though. So cute. Really good simple little images. Done a little ice cream. There it is. This one here. So just a simple little image, but it was really fun to colour. It is alcohol markers, a little bit of paint pens and Posca paint pens, and a little bit of gold metallic gel pen as well. And yeah, just really simple, really cute. Yeah, there are a couple more detailed pages in here, but there's also some really nice simple ones, and yeah, just really neat line work too. And of course it's all adorable animals, which is adorable. The Ancient Egypt collection, which is another Fabiana Tredi issue. I have done just the one. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course does have some information on the side, which is quite cool to learn about. Oh, love the cats. And I have done this page here. Massive alcohol bleed through on this one. So this one I started colouring with some really terrible pencils that didn't work out well. So this one was a repair job. And I managed to repair it with a bunch of alcohol markers, Prismacolor pencils, some metallic iridescent markers, and then some like silver and gold foil that I just used over the jewelry because again I couldn't be bothered doing the jewelry. I know in last year's complete collection tour I put this to the side to do this part because I realized I missed doing that bangle entirely, and I have not come back in and done it. I'm going to leave it as a nod because I think it's funny when I find these little things that I've forgotten. Now I just look back at it and go, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that bangle not defoilified. It may annoy me enough one day to do it, but yeah, I put it to the side and then I was like, oh, I can't be bothered doing this. I'll put it on the shelf and do it later, and then I haven't pulled it out again since. So yeah, maybe one day we'll get there, but for now, nah. So yeah, that is the one page I've done in the Ancient Egypt collection. Right, Strawberry Shortcake collection. Where are you on my list? There you are. And I have done 3 in here. So this one I don't have an actual artist for. I think it's just actual Strawberry Shortcake images that they have licensed to use. So it's a mixture. Some of them are like really got like new style, and some of them feel very old style. It's quite interesting. And of course there's a bunch of these text ones too. Alright, so I've done this one here. I believe this is water-based markers. It is water-based markers, Prismacolor pencils, a little bit of paint pen. Do like how that came together. Didn't want to do that one. It's too many characters. I wasn't in the mood for that one. This one I use water-based markers and then polychromos pencils, and I just use the markers to base out the main characters, but just the pencils in the background, so it would appear quite light because it's got this light grayscale illustration or like pencil illustration. So I thought that was a cool way to sort of keep that lightness. And then done this one here, which is just water-based markers and I think Prismacolor pencils again. Not even any paint pen, but it's cute. It's a very cute book, like very simple colouring, but so cute, especially if, you know, the little dolls. Takes me back. So yeah, that's a Strawberry Shortcake issue. And then an issue I think most people will be surprised I have the flowers issue. Because if you know about me, flowers aren't my favourite thing in the world to colour. And I've only done the one in here. Now these are gorgeous. They do have like an actual description of what the flowers are. And I like the way they're illustrated. I did really enjoy colouring the one I did colour in here. But again, I don't gravitate to this book because I don't gravitate to colouring flowers on their own. It's a beautiful book if you want to practice flowers on it. But I've done this one here. So this is a Amaryllis. I'm probably butchering that. But yeah, I just did this with Inktense pencils. And I liked how it turned out. Very simple. Very, very simple palette. There's a little bit of a glitter gel pen just on the border of the pot. Yeah. Absolutely very straightforward, but I did enjoy it when I did it. I remember actually being surprised at how much I enjoyed it. So if I'm in the mood for flowers, it is a gorgeous book. It's just, again, not a book I would gravitate to a lot. But that's okay. It's part of my collection. And it can stay in my collection. That one was also by Dina Stone, by the way, if I didn't say that. Right, Santa's Workshop. There you are. This has got illustrations by J.R. And it's actually like a little bit of it's almost like a story. It's quite neat. But I've done one of the owl's portraits. this one here, which is all water-based markers with a little bit of metallic gel pens. This is the artist elf. I thought she was super cute. It's like, I will colour her. It's not my greatest water-based marker colouring. It's a little streaky and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure this was also a bed colouring. So, you know, we take what we take. With the bed colouring, it's very much just a I don't feel well colour. So yeah, that is my page in Santa's Workshop by JR. We have Percy and the Park Keeper collection. This has got illustrations by Nick Butterworth, who I believe is the author behind Percy and the Park Keeper. I've never heard of this book at all, but I love the illustrations in here. There's so many cute animals getting into trouble. It's absolutely adorable. And it looks like in the originals they use a bit of watercolor and stuff like that too. Like, they're really neat illustrations. So yeah, I think I'd like to try and actually find a reference for one of these and color the page following how they've done it. But I have done this one page here, Percy and his friends. So this one I used alcohol markers to colour in each of the characters, and I was trying to shade with just the alcohol markers as well. And then I used acrylic paints to paint in the background as well as the black of here as well, which helped with a bit of the bleed through from the markers. So yeah, pretty straightforward, but I also really like it. Sometimes simplicity is good. So that is Percy and the Park Keeper in the one page we've done in there. Then we have Falwell. Again, I don't know this one. I believe it is a English cartoon, because of course Colouring Heaven is English. I don't know anything about this. I kind of, by the sounds of it, it sounds similar in concept to our Foot Trot Flats, but that's more to do with farming life rather than horse racing life. But there's lots of funny chunky horses and funny little illustrations and, you know, cute little book. I've done this one here. So for this one I used alcohol markers and a bunch of, I think, Pablo pencils to shade. And yeah, I was really trying to just keep a good cohesive colouring palette. So like browns and greens, a little bit of red. I like how it came together. Very simple, but I like it. I like the fade out in the background. And yeah, lots of chunky, troublesome horses to colour in the Falwell collection. And we have the Wonderful Wizard of Oz issue, which once again is a Fabiana Trudy issue. Love, love, love her work. There is a new special, like, Colouring Heaven Presents, which is another type of magazine they do. They do so many. There's the specials, these are collections. There's like the summer, winter, autumn, spring, like 3 monthly, quarterly ones they do. They do a mandala one. They now do a cute and cozy one. Plus they do the pocket size ones. And then they have presents. And so they have Colouring Heaven Presents Wicked, and I think it's a reshuffle of this magazine. I haven't seen a full flip through of it, but I get the feeling it's a shuffle of this one. I'll have to have a look to confirm. But also, I don't think I need to necessarily get that unless it is completely different images, in which case maybe I will get it because it's Fabiana Trudy, and I love, love, love how she does portraiture. It's just so beautiful. But I have done the one which is the Wicked Witch of the West here, and I still absolutely adore this page. So once again, I cut out the background of this page. She was originally holding an umbrella, and I don't really like it. I don't know, it just didn't really resonate with me. So what I did is I cut out the Wicked Witch, and then I added in the scrapbooking paper that I really am pleased I chose this one. I feel like it really ties together well with these different shades of green. Then I used Dew and ink tints to shade her in with a little bit of Posca for highlighting, especially in her eye. And then where she was holding the umbrella, obviously it's like there was an umbrella. So there was the umbrella base here and holding up to there, and then the stem went behind her hat and was that. And I was like, okay, let's turn that into a wand. So I cut that out very, very carefully, and stuck in a small piece of this green glitter card, and then I cut a strip of it for up here to make it look like it's one continuous piece, but it's really a square back here plus a stick up here. And then I went into my random magazine cutouts and stuff like that, and I found this jewelry page that had this beautiful green pearl and this diamond sort of thing, and I was like, perfect, we'll top the wand with that. And I pulled out a couple bits to also do her little jewelry here as well. Then a little bit of glitter gel pen and glitter washi tape to just seal in that border and keep things in place, and she was done. And I love it. I really do like how it came together. And it's just stunning as well, the way the portraiture is. Again, it's just her portraiture work. I love Fabiana Truddy's portraiture work. So, yeah, I'll have to triple check. I think it's available. I can grab it online if I want it. If it's different enough, maybe. Because I really need more colouring books. Seasons. So this is by Ellie Marks. And again, I've just done the one. Now, I'm not a seasonal colorist, so I'm not likely to pull this out each season. I'm just likely to color something because I like the look of it. Like, yeah, I don't follow the seasons, so it'll just be more like, oh, that's cute, I'll color that today. And there are some really cute pages in here. So I have done one of the winter pages. I cannot remember the name of these birds, but they are very specific birds that we looked up. So it's distress inks in the background with a whole bunch of shimmer sprays, alcohol markers to base, yep, and then polychromos pencils to shade on top, Posca to highlight, stickles, and yeah, we get this beautiful shimmery and fun page, which again I love. I love how this turned out. Just cannot remember the name of the birds, but very, very cool page. So yeah, this is another one I don't immediately think of, and I really should think of more often. But I don't, and it's okay. Seasons collection. No. The Hatsune Miku collection. I believe this is the second Hatsune Miku collection. Yes, it is. Because I've actually done another one of these as well. I don't have that one. I have number 2. And I have done just the one page in here. Are we surprised? We have done this one here. So for this one, I have used water-based watercolors in the background to do that gradient, and then I believe I used alcohol markers to base. Yeah, alcohol markers to base, Prismacolor to shade, and then a pink glitter marker to color in all the little pink petal bits. I even bordered this one up. I just wanted to color something pink and girly and cute, and I love how this came together. Just how I imagined. So yeah, I know Hatsune Miku is like a bunch of Vocaloid singers. It's about as much as I know about it, but they have some pretty cute designs. Oh, and Hatsune Miku has teal here. Sometimes. I've seen other representations of her. Could be special event versions, could be fakes. I don't know. I know the mainly she has teal here. Alright. The Vikings collection. This is designs by Hollow Moon Art. This one is currently unworked. Again, very neat illustration, so love that one there. Really quite cool line work. Yeah, definitely something I would like to get into. Oh, that's cool. I'm not even going to try and mention some of these names on the side here. I know I would butcher it. I would absolutely butcher it, but love how that all looks. So that is by Hollow Moon Art. Unworked. Cabbage Patch Kids. Where are we? There we are. I have got the one. I think it's just a water-based marker one. I think it's just one I did in bed. Yeah, where are you? Again, this is another really cute, simple book. Like, I don't have to colour in all the backgrounds and stuff like that. I could just colour in, you know, characters as is. There's the page. Yeah, super cute little book. And we have this one here. So this one is actually done with Tombow markers, and in particular one set of Tombow markers. I had was gifted a tropical set, so it's all the colors in that one set, plus I think I grabbed a Crayola as well, just to like do the rest of her skin. So it's just trying to play around with just using those water-based markers. Again, it's a bit streaky, but you know, we were playing and we were trying. It's not bad. A little bit of Posca for highlighting as well. There's a little bit of glittery gel pen in the center of the flowers. Yeah. Is it the most detailed, amazing thing in the world? No, but it made me happy at the time. That's the main thing. I do, yeah, I want to colour, I love that one, Kitty. I'm going to colour a few of these. They're so cute. They're so cute. So yeah, that's the Cabbage Patch Kids collection. We have the Horses collection. And this has got designs by Cindy Al-Sharouni and Dina Stone. And we should have one, which is right at the back there. So again, lots and lots of horses. Two different styles here. You can see the Cindy Al-Sharouni style. And then the Dina Stone is lots of horses. I had to get this issue because of my inner child horse girl. And I've done just the one. Again, this is a water-based markers page. Again, I do like it though. I think if I come in with a yellow pencil and just done some glow around the horse to echo that backlighting, I think that's just what it needs. Plus maybe another little bit of darkness down here. Maybe some shadow from the horse, like, and all that could be added in with pencils. I'd say it's like 99.999% there. Just needs a little touch more. And that's okay. It's what I didn't do at the time. Pretty sure I did this in bed because I wasn't feeling well again. Most of the time, if it's just a water-based marker page, it's usually just done in bed because it's comfy, cozy, and easy. I obviously did come back in and add in some Mod Podge sparkle over the sky there. And I love the little birds here too. So cute. Yeah, that is the Horses collection. So many horses to colour. And then the last issue in my collection is the Dinosaurs collection with designs by Sergei Karkoskosky, Ukrainian paleo artist. So yeah, this is a dinosaur issue. I think this is pretty much the only dinosaur thing in my collection. I was not a dinosaur girly growing up. Yeah, wasn't really a thing on my radar. Probably still not really a dinosaur issue, dinosaur girly, but this issue's cool. I can admit it, like, it's cool. I just don't know enough about dinosaurs, so I'd probably just, you know, just have fun with it. Which is what happened here. So when this issue came in, the magazine store, because I got to know the magazine store owners very, very well, because I was always in there getting colouring heaven. And they used to actually just hold issues for me, because if they only got one or two in, they knew that I always got it, so they would hold it for me and give me first rights, which I always took it. So yeah, they always held an issue for me. But this issue, this collection issue came in, and usually from their suppliers, they would only get between 1 and 4 of the Colouring Heaven magazines, but this time I think they got like 12 or 20. They got like a ridiculous amount, and they were like, how the frick are we meant to move all these? And I was like, oh, that is a lot for you guys, because it wasn't, you know, a huge thing that they sold a lot of. And so what I said was, look, if you give me a couple of hours, I'll take my issue upstairs, because again, I live directly above these guys. I'll go and colour in a page, and then you can give it back to you guys to put in the window if you like, and then maybe it will help people see it because it's a colouring book. Like if you have it on here, it just might not look like much, but if you have a page coloured beside it, maybe it'll help move it. I don't know if that's something that would help. And they're like, that sounds amazing. I mean, if you're willing to do that, we'll rearrange the window for you and we'll absolutely display it. So I was like, cool, give me a couple of hours. So I took this upstairs, and I think I also recorded this for the channel. So if I remember, I'll find the playlist and put it in there. But yeah, I went upstairs, coloured it in, and then brought it back downstairs, and they rearranged the window and then put it in the window, and it did actually help them sell quite a few more copies of it. I think they said by the end they had sold 10 of them as well. So, and also their grandsons came in and saw it and were like, we want it, Nana. So they also sold some to their grandkids, or rather gave some to their grandkids. So I think they did manage to move most of the copies in the end, which was they were really pleased with. So yeah, it was good to help them out, because again, they were lovely people, and they were always so lovely about holding extra issues for me and letting me know if they couldn't get it or things were happening, or if one came in and it was like damaged, they would like keep a nice copy for me because they knew I was serious about it and get rid of the damaged copies. They were lovely. I really do miss that they're not in trade anymore, but they're retired, which is fair enough, you know. So yeah, and I don't live above the store anymore, so I can't just pop in all the time either. So this is the Gigantinosaurus. Again, I don't know much about it. I just went and had fun with it. So I used water-soluble crayons to colour in all down here, with a little bit of pencil shading on top. I think I based him with alcohol markers. No, I think I based water-soluble crayons too for him. Definitely some shading on top, some Posca to like highlight the edges. It's not how I do it now, but it's how I did it back then. I used distress inks and a cloud stencil to do the sky, which I spritzed in a bit of water to also add that speckles, and then Posca's to do the sort of lightning effect. And I really like how the sky looks with him, like the fact it looks like it's on fire. That's quite cool. So yeah, I did have a lot of fun with that. That was really cool. It's the only one I've coloured in there, but I won't get rid of it, A, because of the memories, but also it's the only dinosaur thing in my collection. You never know when you're going to want to colour a dinosaur. And that should be all my colouring heavens. Let's have a quick look at my spreadsheet and make sure I have indeed identified all my colouring heavens between the two shelves. I have indeed. Perfect. I lie. There is one more colouring heaven, but the problem is it doesn't live with the other two books. It doesn't live on A3 or B3. This lives on D4. And that is because it is a completed colouring heaven. And I am like, I can't believe I forgot this one. I was just going on the shelf to triple check something. And then I was like, wait, there's one more colouring heaven. And of course, it is the Fledgling Fairies special. So there is a complete book flip of this one where I go into quite a bit of detail about the pages and stuff like that, but we will flick through it. This book I started in November 2022 and I completed December 25. And it's a book that I had with me when I was on holiday and then actually crashed a car. So it's what I ended up, I had a little bit of trauma from the car crash, so I ended up just colouring like mad in here. So I got a bunch done in it because of that. And then, yeah, it just made me fall in love with Christine Karron. She's such a comfort thing for me in terms of colouring now because of that. But I have all three of her new artist quality books, and I haven't been working in them because I wanted to finish this one off. So now this one's finished off, I'm like, yes, I can go in fact, I'm filming this the day after I had my birthday mega stream, and we might have started a Christine Karron page in it. So yeah, I'm excited, but I love how this is. So yeah, a lot of these are some different media and stuff like that. I talk a bit about it in the complete collection tour, so I won't go into too much detail here because again, there's a whole nother video that you can watch that's already created and ready for you all about this one, but we will show all the pages because it's a completed book and I'm very proud to have a completed book. In 2025 I went from 0 books to 3 books completed, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, I know when I was filming the complete collection tour for 2024, I was talking about how close I was to finishing a few books, and how when I filmed 2026's complete collection tour, I might have completed books to show. And I do. Yeah, had a lot of fun in this book, trying different media, as you can see, experimenting with different styles. This one was like learning how to play with some gouache before I found out that the gouache I was using is horrendous gouache and shouldn't even really be called gouache. Yeah, I do. Absolutely love. Love, love, love. And a few of these I think you can also find on the channel. I think a couple of them are either, like, I think she's on the channel. And then there's a couple that were like whips when I was doing my Working the Whips series. I think there's a couple of them on the channel as well. This was the very first one I coloured in the book. This was pre-car crash. This was on holiday because I had just got this book before I left to go on holiday. So yeah, that was the very first one I completed in the book. It's like, she's so cute. I love it. And then I crashed a car. It's like, I want cute. And so I coloured more of this book. And by the way, totally fine from the car crash. I walked away with scrapes and bruises. No one else was involved. It was just very traumatic for me, and it did leave me with some PTSD. But we're all good now. So yeah, totally fine. Pretty sure this is a Working the Whips or something on the channel. I just remember lots of pink. Lots of pink. And I think I forgot to hit film when I was doing that part. Yeah, this I believe is a Working the Whips. This is also a how much can I throw at a page. So I think some of these are in her artist books. So I'm also kind of looking forward to doing some of these again. Now that my skills have improved in the last 3 years and trialing different things, and you know, I think I'm going to enjoy also doing different things. And yeah, so that's the last page. I'm not going to turn the next page because there's information relating to the car crash on that page, so we'll just flip to the back cover. But it's just like a blank page, so you know, nothing that you're missing. So yeah, that is the Fledgling Fairy special, which is my only completed Colouring Heaven and one of my free completed fully colouring books. So yeah, that marks all my Colouring Heaven issues. So I hope you have enjoyed this tour of my shelf. This part is probably a little smaller than some of the other parts, but also it covers 2 shelves, and you know, I kind of feel like it's a good little cohesive video on its own. Colouring Heaven, of course, is such a big collection of mine that it makes sense that it is its own video because it essentially takes over 2 shelves now. And yeah, let me know down below, do you have any Colouring Heavens? Is there any issues that you think I need to add to the Colouring Heaven collection, or should work in some more? Or you know, if you want to have a closer look at anything, let me know. You know how it goes. I appreciate you all so much for watching and being here in these very long videos. And yeah, we'll be back with, I think we got 2 more parts. I think that's how the shelf is working out, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, all the araha to you all. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.